Hello children. In continuation with the living world and classification of microbes, this is our second lecture. In yesterday's lecture, we have studied the main points like biodiversity and its need, its history. We seen that history inside. We seen the Carlinus, and then Haeckel, then afterwards Chatton and the Coppard. They are done the classification in different ways. After that, the main that is we seen the Weizsäcker classification of a living organism and which thing he had used, that also we seen, and those are first complexity of the cell structure, secondly complexity of the organisms, third mode of nutrition. Afterwards we seen that the lifestyle of classification of the lifestyle and the phylogenetic relationship. Okay, now today's lecture inside we will see the different kingdoms that we studied yesterday in the flow chart, and those are first we are studying the Monera. So living organisms inside, first of all it is divided into prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes into unicellular and animal inside. This is the first kingdom, that is kingdom Monera. Okay, for better understanding or for better study, the living organisms are divided by prokaryotes and eukaryotics. After prokaryotes divided in comes into the unicellular, and that is only one kingdom is there, that is Monera, and it is done by the Weizsäcker, and that Monera study we will do today. Okay, so if you see this bacteria's these pictures, you will see that these are the all are the kingdom Monera. Inside these bacteria are coming. So see here, first type is the Streptococcus pneumonia, then Treponema pallidum, Vibrio cholerae, and then this is the Salmonella typhi, means these are the disease spreading bacteria, means typhoid, cholera is spreading through this. Clostridium, it is also the bacteria. It is present in the canned food which will expire. Then what happens? The Clostridium bacteria goes on it, and because what happens? The diseases like diarrhea, vomiting is spreading. After that, this is the Legionella pneumoniae. So this is also the spreading disease. After that, Staphylococcus aureus. These are the different names of the bacteria. They are included in the kingdom Monera. Okay, now we will see in detail. They gave you an activity, and this activity we already studied in last standard. So first of all, what is the activity they gave here? So see here, activity. Take a small drop of curd or the buttermilk on a clean glass slide. What we have to take? The curd or the buttermilk that we are using in our daily diet. So dilute it with the little water. Dilute means what? We have to add little bit water inside it. Now carefully keep the cover slip on it and observe it under the power compound microscope. What did you see? So that we have studied last year. This I shown this activity last year to you, and in it what happens? If we see this under the microscope after making the slide, if we observe it under the microscope, you will see that there are rod shape, like these types of rod shape structure is looking, and that rod shaped structure is of lactobacilli. Okay, what is lactobacillus? These are the microorganisms which are present in the buttermilk or the curd, and that helps that is useful for the useful bacteria. And this, just before I told you that this lactobacillus are the present in the buttermilk, and when we are facing the problem of diarrhea, vomiting, that time the doctor instructs us that you drink buttermilk. So these bacteria kills the bacteria which are spreading the diarrhea. So it kills, and that is useful. So what they told here, moving small rod like microbes. So this type of microbes are, so we can see here, all types of bacteria, blue green algae are included in the kingdom Monera. What they told you, all types of bacteria. So all these are the bacteria, and these bacteria included inside the kingdom Monera. Okay, so what is the characteristics of this kingdom Monera? So first characteristic is they are unicellular. They are unicellular. The meaning of it is that single cell is the body. All the functions of their body, that is digestion, egestion, reproduction, all the things are takes place in the single cell only. And it's and amoeba is also, you are familiar with the amoeba, that is the single cell organism, and these are also all are the unicellular organisms. Okay, so that is the first characteristic of the kingdom Monera, is they are unicellular. Secondly, they may be autotrophic or heterotrophic. I told you that autotrophic means they are producing their own food, and some are there they are not producing their own food, those are included in the heterotrophic. So these are the animals, these bacteria are, some are autotrophic and some are heterotrophic. Thirdly, these are prokaryotic cells without distinct nucleus and cell organelles. That is very important. What? These are prokaryotics and they are without distinct nucleus or cell organelle. Means you studied the cell structure. Inside the cell structure, the mitochondria, Golgi bodies, after that nucleus, then vacuoles, all the cell organelles are present inside the cell. But these are the single cell animals, but the nucleus is absent in this bacteria. So which characteristics of Monera we seen? They are unicellular. If you see, the single cell is the body. They are heterotrophic or autotrophic and for their food, and they are prokaryotic without distinct nucleus or cell organelle. If you see the structure of amoeba, suppose this is the amoeba, this is the nucleus of the amoeba, okay, and here it has a cell, means this is the structure, means it has a distinct nucleus, but in these animals inside nucleus is absent. If you see the pictures, you will understand that there is nucleus is absent in this animal, in these bacteria. Okay, now we will see the second kingdom, that is the kingdom Protista. See here, now we studied the first, that is living organisms inside. What we studied? Living organism inside. This we had studied, that is living organism, prokaryotics, then unicellular and kingdom Monera. This is the one part of the living organisms and that are included inside the unicellular. After that, second part is the eukaryotics, and eukaryotics inside unicellular, eukaryotic inside unicellular, and unicellular inside Protista is the second kingdom that we are going to study now. Okay, now see here the pictures. I think you are familiar with these pictures. Some of the animals I think you have studied in the previous standard. So here it is the amoeba, and we are all are well known with this. Okay, and what is its characteristics? We seen that it has a irregular in shape, means its shape is not particular. Here it is the paramecium. Yes, paramecium is a sleeper shaped body. You just see the picture how it is there. How is our sleeper? The structure is like a sleeper. Okay, then afterwards the another, that is the euglena, and it has a flagella. So these three at least we know, and that is a new one, that is a old box. This is included in the kingdom Protista. Okay, first inside what we see in they all are bacteria. Now here we will see that, see here the kingdom Protista. Now here again they gave one activity: prepare a temporary mount of a drop of a pond water. Pond water means what we have to take? The little bit dirty water is present, or the stored water is the pond water on the glass side, and observe it under the low power or the high power microscope. We have to observe under the high and low power. You will find some motile microbes with the irregular shapes. Okay, their shapes are irregular, and these are the amoebas. This is our amoeba. It is present in that pond water or little bit stored or dirty water inside. It mostly grows. Okay, so if we see the characteristics of this, then you will understand that what is the characteristics of this kingdom Protista. So firstly what we see, they are also single cell. Protistas are single-celled organisms with well-defined nucleus enclosed in the nuclear membrane. So one more thing is that it is single cell, but as like a bacteria or the kingdom Monera, there is a nucleus absent in the Monera, but here the nucleus is present. Not only present, it has a nuclear membrane. Okay, so it has a nuclear membrane. They have pseudopodia. Pseudopodia means what I told you. Pseudo means false. Pseudo means false, and podia means legs. False legs means pseudopodia. Means if you see this picture of amoeba, it can develop its legs anywhere wherever it wants. Okay, so it is called as a pseudopodia. It is not the exact structure of this amoeba. It is like that also. Okay, its structure is different. Okay, its structure may be like that. Okay, so these are the pseudopodia, means wherever it is necessary it can make his legs, and so this is called as, these are called as a pseudopodia. So first characteristic of this is the kingdom Protista is they have the single cell organisms. Okay, and not only the single cell organism, they also have a well defined nucleus. Okay, and nucleus has a nuclear membrane also, and that is the main one. Okay, secondly, what we see, they have pseudopodia. Okay, pseudopodia for the locomotion. Okay, and also this is the flagella, hair like cilia. These are the cilia. Wait, I will show you by zooming this. Okay, if you see the structure, here is the hair like projection for this animal. This is hair like projections are there, and this is called as a cilia, and cilia is a locomotory organ for the paramecium. For amoeba, which is the locomotory organ, that is the pseudopodia. And for paramecium, it is the, just we seen that it is the, this cilia is the locomotory organ. And same way for this euglena, the locomotory organ is the what? Flagella. So they have the well developed locomotory organs. So secondly, we will see they have the pseudopodia, hair like cilia, wipe means what? In Marathi we are saying chabuk. So wipe like flagella for the locomotion. So these animals have the locomotory organs like flagella, pseudopodia and the cilia. Thirdly, we see they are autotrophs. Okay, which animals are autotrophs? That is euglena and volvox. These are euglena, volvox, and they contains what? Chlorine. If you see the picture inside, the picture also they show green. So this is the volvox. Okay, it produces its own food, and euglena also produces their own food. So these two are included in the which they both are autotrophs. Okay, now, and which are the heterotrophs? That is euglena and paramecium are the heterotrophic animals. So these two are the heterotrophic organisms, and these two are the autotrophic organisms. Okay, so this is the characteristic of kingdom Protista. If we study the comparatively characteristics of the kingdom Monera and the kingdom Protista, you will understand that they both have the same single cell, but both have single cell. So they are also unicellular, and they also have the single cell is the body. Here is also single cell, here they are unicellular organisms. Okay, so they are also, here it is unicellular, and here they are single cell. So this is the common characteristic in between the Monera and the Protista. Secondly, they are autotrophic or heterotrophic. Here also some are autotrophs. If you see here, they have some are autotrophic, and which are inside it, what we say, euglena and volvox is there, and heterotrophs inside amoeba and paramecium. This is also common character in the Monera and the Protista, single cell, and they may be autotroph or they may be heterotrophs. Then what is they told you? This is the different characteristic in this both. So that is they are prokaryotic cells without distinct nucleus, but here in this there is a distinct nucleus. They have a distinct nucleus enclosed inside the they enclose inside the nuclear membrane. So after these two we will study the next one. It is the what? It is, now we have finished the unicellular organisms. So we have finished these unicellular organisms. Inside it, what I told you, there is living organisms inside. What we have finished, that is prokaryotics unicellular we have finished, and eukaryotics inside unicellular. Now we are moving towards the multicellular organisms, and the first multicellular organism inside we are studying in the kingdom third, and that is called the fungi. That kingdom is called as a kingdom third, and it is called as a fungi. Okay, and these are three: kingdom plantae and kingdom animalia. Okay, so we will see the fungi at first. Okay, here also they gave you an activity. I think you are well known about this activity. It is not necessary to do this activity. Better to do this activity. You just sometimes by mistake, if you forgot to keep the we forgot a piece of a chapati, roti, otherwise bread, inside bread in a container as it is only. So what happens, after 2-3 days we see a grey colored, whitish grey colored thread like structure, which thread like tough structure on it, and that is nothing but it is the fungi. What is it? It is fungi, and here is the structure of fungi. Okay, if you see the structure of fungi, this structure is what? It is bigger one, but it is very small. We observe this structure of fungi under the microscope. Okay, so this structure is the shown on this fungi. So this has this type of connections are there in between them. So these are the false roots are called as rhizoids. Keep in your mind, in forward we are going to learn this. So false roots are called as rhizoids. This is called as a hypha. This in between the connected in between the two structures. Then it is sporangiophore. These are the spores. When the spores, what happens? Right, it bursts out, and burst. Then what happens? All the spores comes outside. It falls on it, and then from it what happens? Again the this structure is formed in this way. And here also again sporangia, spores develop, and when it is ripe, then it is burst, again it falls on the ground. In this way its life cycle is there. Okay, so this is the structure. Afterwards we will see the characteristics of this kingdom. So I think after this fungi inside this also coming again, I think you saw this structure. Actually it is looking like a mushroom that you ate. Okay, so mushroom is also the example of this group. Okay, and some fungi are shown in the picture here. So mushroom, that is we are eating also, and in rainy seasons when rain falls, then in the old cotton wooden articles are there, otherwise sometime on plants this type of structure is grown. It is looking like an umbrella. And that is called as a mushrooms. So we will see the characteristics of this group, that is fungi. So see here, as you know that it is a fungi, means it grows on the dead organisms. So we will see the characteristics. First of all, these are non-green, eukaryotic, just we seen above. Prokaryotic inside only Monera is there. After that eukaryotic inside, first we seen that Protista, and secondly it is the that is the fungi. Then heterotrophic means they are depending on other animals for their food. Okay, most of them saprophyte. This is a new word for you, which? Saprotrophs. Saprotrophs means the animals, they are using the decaying organic matter. Decaying organic means what? The dead organisms. On dead organisms these grow, that's why they are called as a saprotrophs. See, they feed upon the decaying organic matter. So dead organism decaying means what? Which is going to decay. If we keep the vegetables as it is for some time, then what happens is start decaying. Okay, so they feed upon the decaying organisms, that's why they are called as a saprotrophs. Then their cell wall is made up of tough complex sugar, and that sugar is called as a chitin. Okay, so their cell wall, as you know that cell have, so cells, this outer covering is there, no, this covering made up of chitin like substance, and it is very hard, and it is a complex, nothing but it is a complex sugar. Some fungi are thread like, and many nuclei are present in the cytoplasm. Some fungi are thread like. Thread like means which we seen that is grow on chapati or roti. These are thread like. Many nuclei are present in the cytoplasm. So here what they told you, there are many nuclei are present in the, not only single, many nuclei, that is important. Many nuclei are, this is different from the other, many nuclei are present in this living organisms. After that, here they gave you example of baker's yeast. That yeast, you know that they are using for the making bread, cake. For that purpose they are using the bread, this yeast, and that is the nothing but the, it is a kind of a fungi. Next is the aspergillus. It is a fungus on corn. On corn tree, this aspergillus is grown. Okay. Next is penicillium. Penicillium, it has a medicinal use. Penicillium is using in the antibiotics for the curing, and afterwards the next it is the mushroom that you are eating. So this is the characteristics of the which organisms that is living organism called as a fungi. So what is, in short we will see, they are heterotrophic, non-green, they are non-green, eudiotic and heterotrophic. Okay, then they are saprotrophs, means they grow on the decaying organisms. After they are, cell wall is made up of chitin like substance, is nothing but the tough and complex sugar. Some fungi are thread like, means they have many nuclei, and its examples they give baker's yeast, aspergillus, fungus on the corn, and penicillium and the mushroom. So this is the example. Though many systems of classification are introduced by after Whitaker, his 5 kingdoms system is widely accepted. Okay, now today, and here it is what is the merits and demerits of Whitaker's classification is given, and its answer you have to solve this and you have to send me. Today we will finish till here only. The next part of this lesson we will see in our next lecture. Okay, thank you.